pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Welcome, everybody, to Daytona International Speedway, home tonight to the Racers Elite Xfinity Series opening race. I am Mike Demoni up in the booth tonight, bringing you all the flag-to-flag action right here on Sim Racing Media, your home for all your motorsports needs. This is a new league to us. They're starting out here at Daytona, as most of our leagues do. We're going to go ahead and jump right into qualifying here and see if we can get to know these guys as they make their way around the racetrack here. Already into qualifying. Like we got a few laps here to get those tires warmed up and make their way to the grid here. Andrew Teft on track. Usually at Daytona, these guys want to be up as high as they can. The first couple laps, try and get as much speed as they can. Andrew Teft right there got a 50.68. Good enough for pole position right at the moment. We'll jump back to like Dennis Kane on track. 51.38. So Andrew Teft with the 50.68. Robert Knopfsinger Jr. with a 50.63. Will Smith, good enough for third right now with a 50.63 as well. Timothy Hoke with a 50.76. Terry Fennell with a 50.78. See if he can better it this time as he makes his way down that front stretch here into that tri-oval. A little bit better with the 50.66. Christopher Fowler jumps up to the top of the board with a 50.59. So this is going to be a pretty tight race. We've seen like the top 7 are within 0.06 of each other. Like we got a couple guys left to go here. Matthew Jarrett finishing out his lap. And Matthew Jarrett just jumps up to the top of the board with a 50.57. So he's got that 81 Chevy on rails right now. But we are at Daytona. You're going to have to be working with a buddy to make your way through the field here. It looks like we've got Alex Teft up here. 29 Ford. See what Alex can do. 50.92. Not too bad right now. Like everybody's pretty much made their laps. Of Dave Rope. Like he's having some issues there. Like I was saying, I believe these guys are in their second season. After the opening week here at Daytona, they will head to Las Vegas, then Atlanta, and we'll go short track racing on July 5th at Martinsville. And all of it winds down the regular season anyway. September 6th at Kentucky. And then they start their chase for the Cup on September 13th. Season finale winds up at Texas November 8th. We'll see how these guys work their way through the season. Be with us all season long. Tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern. Got a couple seconds here left. Go ahead and take a look here at the race info. Like I said, it is round 1 from Daytona. 2.5 mile tri-oval. If you guys want to follow us, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, pretty much everywhere you can be. We are there. If you guys need a race broadcast, one-off season, hit us up and we'll definitely be get back to you and let you know what we can do to help your league. You guys have 14 cars ready to take the grid here. Looks like we're left with about couple minutes. Take a look here. We're in for 78 laps. So it is a 2.5 mile tri-oval, 31 degrees banking in the turns, 18 in the start finish line. As you've seen most of the races here at Daytona, it's all about who you can work with a field of 14. Imagine we're going to see a lot of two wide racing, drafting around. It's all going to be about who you're with towards the end and who you can trust. We do have brothers in here. We got 3 owners. We got a couple new guys to the league. We'll see what everybody can do. What else we got? Everything's handled by Iracing. No stage racing. Green white checkers 3. Looks like they are ready to go here. Looks like we've got Todd Ackerman hanging out in the chat. Guys made it into their cars, and we'll come down here and take a closer look to go through the grid here. Look, we got Christopher Fowler still waiting here. So we got Matthew Jarrett, Christopher Fowler just to his outside. We go back to Andrew Teft, Jarrett Larder, Robert Nofsinger, Brandon Puffenbarger, Will Smith, Brandon Broadfoot, Dave Thrope, Timothy Oak, Terry Fennell, Spencer Hanneman, Alex Teft, and Dennis Kane starting shotgun on the field. So here we go. Guys are getting ready to start the season. Thanks, Todd. Todd in the chat saying watch out for 77. These guys are making their way down that backstretch here at Daytona. So Matthew Jarrett, Christopher Fowler on the front row. See how long they stay there. First start is going to be on the flagman. After that, the leader will take it from the restart zone. So here they come, working their way through that 3-4 complex here. So decent sized field here of 14 cars. Matthew Jarrett, Christopher Fowler heading down that tri-oval, getting ready for the start of the race. Green flag is out. Matthew Jarrett gets a huge jump on the inside. We'll see if Christopher Fowler stays up high or tries to come down. Looks like he's going to have to stay up high as Andrew Teft is right there on the bottom. And the 13 of Robert Snoffsinger right behind him. So those three cars, 1, 2, 3, nose to tail as they make their way through the first corner here. That outside lane fighting back ever so slightly. Christopher Fowler still hanging up there in second, and he's got Jarrett Larder right to his rear bumper. He slides down to the inside, leaves Lauder up high. And it looks like Hoffenberger's up there as well here. Fowler got up front, got down to that inside. And he is staying down there with Jarrett staying pretty tight to his rear bumper. We're going to see a lot of this racing through the field. 77's on the high side, sitting back in fourth, and that's Spencer Hanneman. Like you got a little bit of an accordion effect happen about halfway through the field. Looks like we're going to try and get that situated here. A lot of the times when you're here at Daytona, you want to be in that group that has 3 or 4 guys, and that's it. Because if you get any more, that accordion effect gets bigger and bigger, and you wind up bouncing around or bumping into that outside row. That outside row's battling back. Larder has taken the lead from Fowler there, and it looked like Poffenberger was out to the high side and was going to try and make it 3 wide and leave Lauder stuck in the middle, but Lauder jumped up in front of him and pushed him back to the back, which allowed the inside of Christopher Fowler to get back to the lead. Fowler and Larder. Larder's staying up there. Poffenberger keeps sliding up and trying to get that nose clean out there. Almost looks like he's trying to force it 3 wide. And it looks like he might just do that as the 22 of Brandon Broadfoot slides down in front of him, or to the inside of him, and it's going to wind up pushing him back towards the back because nobody else is jumping up there 3 wide. We got a little shuffling going on here. Fowler and Jarrett inside row. Got Teft and Larder on the high side trying to make their way up towards the front. Teft jumped out to the high side, and now it is starting to move once again. But there you see that accordion effect happening one more time. And Todd in the chat there saying that the 77 was backing up because there was a wreck brewing, and I can't say that I disagree with people trying to go 3 wide there. Not sure where they were going to be as the 9 kind of jumps out there to the middle. That's Will Smith, and he gets back down to the inside, but he got stuck there in the middle for a little bit as they were working their way through that backstretch there. Spencer Hanneman starting to tuck him in on that high side, but you can just see the wiggle there from the 81 of Matthew Jarrett. Kind of get bounced around all over the place. Not sure what he was going to do there, which allowed that high side to start to pull away. Got Teft and Larder. Larder down to the inside. He's going to try and take the lead here. Teft barely hang on, and just behind them, we got Brandon Broadfoot in the middle, 3 wide. Matthew Jarrett gets hip checked and around. Oh, no. Everybody's still staying there. Timothy Hoke almost went around as well. Terry Fennell went around there as well. So, first big-ish incident there, as they're still racing almost 3 wide. You got the 5 of Poffenberger up high, Andrew Teft down there in the middle, and you got Larder on the low side. Larder leading the race here. And Teft stuck in the middle. The 22 of Brandon Broadfoot down there on the inside. Teft is making it 3 wide there. God, I am not sure as far as what the expected pit is, as they're almost 4 wide back there. Teft in the middle. Offenbarger on the high side, trying to figure out which way he can go there, as Larder is making his way towards the front. And that inside lane has got like 4 or 5 cars pretty well hooked up as I start to shake around just a little bit. While they kind of settle down here, let's back here. Take a see what happened back here towards the back. There, let's get a here. See what we can see. This started that incident there. They got a little loose, knocked everybody around. That 77 still out in the high side there. Spencer Hanneman. Alex Teft has moved up in front of brother Andrew. Only 2 on that high side. Hanneman and Teft there. And Kane. So league owners in that outside lane trying to make their way towards the front. But that inside lane has kind of calmed down a little bit. You got Larder, Broadfoot, and Knopfsinger down on that inside as Broadfoot jumps up to the high line. And he's going to try and get that high line to get back towards the front. We will have completed 11 laps when they get back to that start-finish line as they're working through that tri-oval. Larder's still leading, but Broadfoot might have just been in front at the stripe to take the lead there. No, he was leading after it, but it'll be close to see who got credit for leading that lap. So Brandon Broadfoot still leading out here. Let's see if maybe we can jump back on Spencer's car here, right on his nose, and just kind of see how close these guys are getting to the back of each other. And you see Broadfoot kind of all over the place, which allows that bottom line to come back in. You can see here from the 77 Ford of Spencer Hanneman here just how close they're getting, bouncing around every which direction. We can jump down to the inside of the 13 Ford of Robert Knopfsinger as he is pushing that Budweiser number 2 Chevy out to the lead once again. Guys are kind of bouncing all over the place just a little bit here. Coming down that backstretch. Larder has the lead. Brandon Broadfoot still in that outside lane. They're starting to kind of get a little bit spread out. We'll see if anybody can kind of get back together. As you can see the 9 there of Will Smith get down on that apron, kind of bounce back up and almost into that outside lane. But he was able to keep it clean there. They're still battling back and forth. Looks like Broadfoot has got a little bit of a run there, but then they kind of get spread out just a little bit, as looks like Andrew Teff just about had a run in with the rear bumper there of the 77 machine. 77 machine slides down and almost checks Will Smith down into that inside lane. These guys are running pretty close to one another. And for the way these guys are racing, you would have thought they've all been racing together for quite a long time, but from the sounds of it, not too much. As that 9 car gets that front left wheel onto the apron again and almost spins around. Luckily, he's able to save it. Cost him quite a bit of ground there as he drops back into 7th place and slows down that inside line just a little bit. But Larder is still out leading. Knopfsinger down on the inside. Spencer Hanneman jumps down to that inside lanes. Had enough about of that high side there. We got Brandon Broadfoot and Andrew Teft up high. Larder still battling. Still has that lead. If anybody's going to try and jump out here. Not really. You can see him kind of bounce around. Let's go back to let's jump back on Will Smith here. You can kind of take a look here from the roof cam. You can kind of see how these guys are kind of sliding all over the place a little bit. You kind of want to find people that are keeping a really steady line as they are spinning in front. Jared Larder able to save it. The 9 of Will Smith goes around up into that outside wall, and we are under caution for the first time tonight. Let's see what happened here. Oh, the 13 just rubs his bumper. There's nothing happening there. Luckily, the 77 gets by. The 9 tries to save it. Matthew Jarrett gets stuck in it again. The 05 slams on his brakes to not get run in. We got a few that are going to be headed to pit lane to see if we can get some of that damage repaired. Brandon Broadfoot is scored as the leader. Andrew Teft in second. Dennis Kane up 11 spots. Currently P3. Robert Knopflinger Jr. up to fourth. Alex Teff up 8. And Spencer Hanneman up 6. So it almost looks like you can basically flop the way we started the race. The top 6 are in the bottom 6 positions pretty much, and the bottom 6 are in the top 6. So everybody should be coming down for fuel and tires. We have one guy that retired. Looks like he was having some connection issues here. Like we have the 13 who overshot his box there. That'll be a little bit longer pit stop there. Andrew Teft out first. Andrew Teft, Brandon Broadfoot, Dennis Kane, Alex Teft, Spencer Hanneman, Will Smith, Robert Knopflinger. The way they come out. Garrett Barter spent some extra time in the pits. Like he got about 16 seconds worth of damage repaired on that number 2 Chevy. So we'll be about a third of the way through this race here when we go back green. Looks like Matthew Jarrett's sitting there getting his work done on pit lane. Andrew Teft makes that pit stop, jumps out to the lead. Spent the least amount of time in his pit stall and on pit lane. Looks like everybody's basically over 42 seconds pit lane time. And Andrew was in there for 41.52. So it looks like everybody got 4 fresh tires and a full car of fuel. We'll get them stacked back up. And Andrew Teft will have the button once they get to that Geico restart zone. On board with Teft right now. Pace lights are out on the pace car there. Coming down that long backstretch. So Andrew Teft, Brandon Broadfoot, 1-2. Dennis Kane, Alex Teft, Will Smith, and Spencer Henneman. Pace car is making that left-hand turn down pit lane. Andrew Teft is down and away. Looks like Dennis Kane's going to try and close up that gap. As Teft got a little bit too good of a jump, it seemed, on that low lane. And usually when that happens, that high lane can take advantage, but nothing doing right now in that high lane. Teft and Broadfoot side by side. Kane trying to push Teft further out in front. Hanneman back there as well. Like I said, lots of side-by-side action. As Will Smith gets into that outside wall, Larder takes advantage and is still pushing it 3 wide right through the middle. He has a faster car, and into the wall he goes. Pushed it a little too much right there. But Jared Larder goes off the nose of Alex Teft there. Let's see here. So you see him push it 3 wide, and then watch, all of a sudden you're going to see Alex Teft up there, and he just goes right off of him. Take a different look here. Larder down in the middle. We knew he had a fast car. Will Smith kind of bounced around there a little bit. Just went right off the nose of the 29 of Alex Teft there. So we'll see what happens here. If everybody's gonna... It looks like almost everybody came down pit lane except for the 77 here. And the 9. So 9 and 77 elected to stay out. They're going to take a little bit of that track position. They got to be thinking that we're going to have a few more cautions here, maybe. So while they do that, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back momentarily. Once again, this is the Racers Elite Xfinity Series on Sim Racing Media. right, welcome back, everybody. We are just about ready to go back to green flag racing. Spencer Hanneman on the low lane's gonna have the button. Will Smith up on the high lane. Both those drivers elected not to hit pit lane. Last pit on lap 18. Everybody else came in for the second time there on lap 23. We will see if that is the correct move here, as that pace car is going to make that left-hand turn and head down pit lane, and we'll be back to green flag racing. Spencer hits that restart zone and he is down and away. Elects to jump up to the high lane almost all by himself, as everybody is kind of spread out looking back through the field. Brandon Broadfoot, Will Smith side by side, but nobody's really helping anybody push. Knopfsinger Jr. and Larder down on the inside. See if they're going to be able to make a push once they get together here. Like Will Smith is now receiving the push from Knopfsinger. Or Broadfoot there. That's Broadfoot down on the inside. Knopfsinger behind him. Spencer Hanneman staying up high, trying to stay out of trouble, it looks like here. Bouncing around just a little bit. Like I said, this is still a pretty long race. We've got 78 total laps and we've got 50 left here. Got plenty of time to bide your time, see who you work well with, and see who you want to be around when you go to make that move towards the end of the race. As Broadfoot jumps up to the high side just to get around Smith there. We got the 13, the 9, and the 22 in that low lane. The 9 jumps up high and is going to try and get back out in front of the 22. Larder is sitting in fourth after leading most of the race here. Larder's all over the back of Smith, trying to push him to the lead. Knopfsinger has pushed Broadfoot up front. Spencer Hanneman back in third on that outside lane. Matthew Jarrett down to the inside, 3 back on the bottom. Andrew Teff, Dennis Kane sitting fourth, inside and out. Like Timothy Hoke is the only one hanging on back there, as Brandon Proffenbarger and Christopher Fowler are off the tail end of the field there. Like we have another retiree there. Terry Fennell called it a night. Alex Teff back on track after sustaining quite a bit of damage earlier on there. As the 22 gets loose in front of the 13 of Knopfsinger. That outside lane's kind of slowed down just a little bit. They're currently even with third. Matthew Jarrett on that low lane. Seems to be just a little bit too much gap bouncing between them there. That outside lane can get hooked up. It might be able to make a run towards the front. It might just kind of be settling back just a little bit. It looks like Andrew Teft was thinking about maybe going to the high side as he slid up just a little bit, but back down to the inside he goes. As Brandon Broadfoot and Robert Knopfsinger are starting to work pretty well together here. Thanks everybody for joining us on YouTube and in the YouTube chat. If you want a driver or want me to shout them out, go ahead and shout them out in the chat and we'll see what we can do about that. Todd Ackerman has been chatting quite a bit. Zesty Zest also was hanging up in the chat there for a little bit. So Hanneman down to the inside now, sitting back in 5th on the low lane. Andrew Teft jumps out in front of Will Smith there. He's going to try and get that high side moving towards the front here. Go ahead and do that for you. Spencer here in the very colorful 77 Ford. Look at the damage on the back of that 59. Rear bumper all busted up there. Back to the high side goes Spencer. And the 9 goes off of the front bumper of the 2. And we are wrecking once again here. And Spencer went out through the track there. Take a look here. Everybody kind of bouncing around there. The 9 sliding up and down. Nine's all over the back bumper of Andrew Teft, and at that same time, the 2 gets a push from Kane. And that is that. The Larder heads to pit lane. Working their way through their caution here. Third caution of the day. There. Everybody basically heading down pit road. Except for Spencer once again. Well, we got a minute. Let's take a look and see what happened to Spencer there. See if maybe he was able to avoid a lot of the damage there. Oh, right into the side of the 9 there. I thought maybe he was lucky enough to avoid that damage, but he did not. But he's electing to stay out. See if we can get a different cam. Oh, yeah. Quite a bit of damage up there. We'll see how that plays out here. Could be about getting ready to stack them back up. We'll see if this is going to be the right call. Heads down pit lane this time. Not sure if I understand why he elected to stay out and then go back down there. They are stacked back up here. Yeah, Todd, I don't know if he just wanted to see about getting that extra lap led or what his plan was there, but he's on pit lane for 40 seconds there, getting that damage repaired. Let's see if we can take a look just because we got a little bit of time here. We got, I don't know. Try and take a look at it, but not giving me the right angle there, but so here we go. Brandon Broadfoot, Andrew Teft lead us down here. Pace car is in. We are green. Broadfoot and Knopfsinger get a pretty good jump. Teft and Jarrett are hooked up there on the high lane. But there's quite a gap in the field here. We'll see if Teft likes to drop down to the inside and make it a little bit easier on himself up here. It looks like he will do that. We'll see if we get some single file racing here for a little bit as Timothy Hoke is slowly starting to work his way back to these top four here. You can see Dennis Kane back there missing the front bumper off his car. Daytona has not been kind. Budweiser, Garrett Larder there is back like a lap here. And up front, Brandon Broadfoot, Robert Knopfsinger, Andrew Teft, and Matthew Jarrett all making their way through the field here as we have completed halfway. Hyper DJ 005 in the chat. These top five are slowly starting to pull away as Hanneman's back in the pits one more time. Another retiree, Will Smith, has called it a night. Andrew Teft jumps out to the high side. Looks like Matthew Jarrett's going to try and follow him. A little too far back there. Andrew Teft kind of stalls out. And Jarrett jumped up, but that also stalled him out there as well, which allowed the 59 to Timothy Hoke make his way up towards the top two on that low side. Dennis Kane back here in 6th is kind of getting a tow along from Garrett Larder, as Larder is trying to make his way back through the field. He is a lap down. He is in that lucky dog position. So if a caution comes out and he is not involved, he could be getting back on the lead lap. Just take a look here at this car of Dennis Kane. Missing basically everything up front, so he will be basically no good to be leading anybody. It'll be okay to probably be a pusher because it looks like the back half of his car is pretty good, so that won't affect the aerodynamics too much if he can get through the bubble there and push somebody towards the front. Knopfsinger and Broadfoot, though, are hooked up and working together here. They are slowly pulling away from Larder and everybody on that high side. Teft, Jarrett, Kane. Larder's just trying to get his lap back the hard way. Teft and Hoke side by side. Jarrett trying to push Teft up to the lead, but I just don't think they have enough or are close enough right now. 59 kind of slides up a little bit, does a little bit of that side drafting, blow him down. Spencer Henneman gets up to the high side, he's going to stay up high, try and stay out of the way. He is now a couple laps down. Spencer really wants to see that 2-car get out in front of these leaders and then a caution fly. Then he'll get at least one of his laps back. We got 8 cars up here battling, 7 on the lead lap. Looks like 3 that are pretty damaged back there. Like Alex Teft and Kane are way damaged on that high lane, and that might be why the high lane's not going anywhere in a hurry here. Yeah, the 77's back on track, but he's got quite the work to do here, Todd, if he's going to finish on the lead lap even at this moment in time. But on the plus side, he will do no worse than 11th place right now. So it looks like Knopfsinger's starting to get a little bit loose. The 59 there of Timothy Hoke goes up and sides drafts the heck out of Andrew Teft, and they're side by side, almost bumping. Sends him almost around. Timothy Hoke saves it. Jarrett Larder has got to be thinking, what in the world? I don't need to be caught up in another one of these things. So that shakes the field up even more. And as we do that, we're going to go ahead and take one more break here. These guys are spread out, working their way through lap 48 here. And we'll be back momentarily. You won't miss a thing. All right, welcome back to Sim Racing Media and the Racers Elite Xfinity Series, live from Daytona International Speedway. Not much has changed. Broadfoot Knopfsinger still on the low line. Teft up high. Matthew Jarrett got down to the inside, and it looks like Broadfoot just got sent down to the inside with a basically not a square bump there. Let's see if we can see what happened here. On board with Knopfsinger here. Coming out of 4. Gets a run. Oh, doesn't look like he even touches him. Let's see. Take another look here. 22's out in front a little ways here. 13 kind of goes down to that yellow line. Down again. Looks like he just gets loose. Looks like he doesn't even get touched. So back up front now. That definitely has shaken up the front right at the moment. Knopfsinger down low working with Jarrett. And the brothers are up on that high side, Teft and Teft. Andrew and Alex trying to work together here. Like Knopfsinger and Andrew Teft have the cleaner cars. Looks like Alex and Matthew there had a little bit of damage. Looks like Kane is just too damaged to keep up with the Tefts up top there. We were down to 5 cars leading this race here. Yeah, you can see the damage there of Alex's 29 Ford. Looking back from Andrew there. You can do the same thing if you switch over here. Yeah, maybe not so much there. Let's see if we can look from Timothy. There you go. You can see that rear bumper of Matthew Jarrett's Camaro there definitely has got a little help. Maybe some refabrication there as we are getting close to 20 laps to go here. Jarrett Larder is on that high side. Sitting in third. We're going to see if he's going to be able to get his lap back here as Andrew Teft goes down to the inside, kind of slows down Knopfsinger there, and then jumps back up to the high side. Teft and Knopfsinger back and forth. Yeah, they definitely are getting a little squirrely there. Patience are starting to wear a little bit thin. We've last seen these guys come in on lap 34. Still haven't had a full fuel run. I'm not even sure how long that is going to last. Super Speedway racing is mostly about drafting. You don't use too many tires, but these guys are sliding around a little bit back and forth. Let's go ahead and Go to a turn it up thing. We'll see these guys race around this track. And they are still battling up front. Knopfsinger, Jarrett, and Teft. Two lap cars behind them, with Larder and Hanneman. Brendan Broadfoot is in the pits. 19 laps to go. So it looks like everybody's going to be heading to pit lane. So there you have your answer. About 34 and we're on lap 60, so not too bad of a call here. Christopher Fowler, Brandon Poffenberger, or Poffenberger's already in. Brandon Broadfoot, like the 77's trying to get up there a little bit as well. Last pit on lap 37. So we've got Knopfsinger, Jarrett, and Hoke coming in. Everybody locked up those tires pretty quick there. Andrew and Alex Teft and Dennis Kane stayed out one more lap here. Got a couple of the lap cars behind them. And here comes everybody else coming down pit lane. We got these two guys, Poffenberger and Christopher Fowler, who pitted early. We're going to see if they're going to, if they hooked up together, if they're going to be able to make it around these guys that just came out. Because they're hooked up together, they should be able to go faster than these two cars by themselves. The jump to the high side of Matthew Jarrett. And we'll see if they're going to get around Hoke here. Jarrett jumps up behind them. We'll see if they're going to be able to keep this momentum going and get in front of Andrew. Andrew Teft is still currently scored as the leader. These three working together. We'll see if they're going to make the run and be able to pass Andrew. They should be able to, as Andrew is by himself. Move to the high side. And it looks like they are going to be able to do that pretty easily here. Andrew jumps up behind them. See if he's going to be able to catch that draft. Don't know that he did. It looks like Dennis Kane got flipped around here. Let's take a look here and see what happened. So the 59 gets a huge run on that high side. Passes Larder, passes Hanneman. Let's get a little loose. Larder. Oh. 59 slows down. Kane checks up. Larder gets into the back of him. So we are basically down to, looks like about 3 cars are going to be battling out here for the win. 14 laps to go. I know that is a long time, but I think they are the 3 cleanest cars. But it looks like Matthew Jarrett might be slowing down here to pick up Andrew Teft. And that looks like exactly what happened here. Matthew's going to let Andrew go to his high side, slide up behind Andrew, and then those two are going to go take off and try and battle Poffenbarger and Fowler for the win here. And that's what's happening. Teft and Jarrett have went to that high side and are passing Offenberger and Fowler like they were standing still. So Matthew Jarrett knew that he had to get some help from somebody, and Andrew Teft definitely needed it there. So Teft and Jarrett are working together pretty well. Poffenbarger and Fowler as well. Those 4 cars are the only cars within 6 seconds of this lead up here. $11 laps to go. Started the race with 14, have 9 on the lead lap, and 4 that are going to be battling out for the win. Ten to go this time by. So it's going to be all about patience. And the other thing will be about whether or not Matthew Jarrett wants to try and win this race. Because if Jarrett thinks he has a chance at winning this race, he's going to have to back up to the 5 there and give himself enough room away from the 98 of Teft to make that run. So right now, Teft and Jarrett, Hoffenbarger and Fowler. These other guys back here are kind of just hanging on, hoping for a finish. And if you're the guys up front, you don't want to see these guys bouncing around too much. You want it to stay green to the end. You don't want to bring any more cars back up to the front. Then you absolutely have to here. Eight laps to go. Teft, Jarrett, Poffenbarger, and Fowler. Teft and Jarrett are pulling a little bit of a gap there. Got about 2/10 on Poffenbarger and Fowler, but they do have lap traffic coming up, and that is the 22 of Brandon Broadfoot. Brandon stays high. All the leaders go down low. We'll see how that's going to affect them here, and it looks like not much at all, as everybody's able to get by. Broadfoot jumps down behind and is going to try and catch that toe to stay close to these leaders. So here we go. 6 laps to go. Make our way to the handshake lap. If you're these leaders, you kind of want that 22 to kind of back away a little bit, because that 22 was a pretty fast car early. You don't want him to fight too hard to try and get his lap back. He's not going to really lose much of a position at the moment, but you don't want him to influence the outcome of the race as they race down this backstretch. Teft, Jarrett, Poffenbarger, and Fowler. And it doesn't look like we're going to come up on any other lap traffic at the moment. Down the backstretch they go. Everybody lockstep, single file, making their way down that backstretch. The 5 of Poffenbarger and the 48 of Christopher Fowler are kind of starting to separate a little bit, which doesn't help them when they're trying to catch Teft and Jarrett. Teft and Jarrett right now have a little over 0.2 of a second lead. And if they could get all three of these cars behind them, Poffenberger, Fowler, and Knopfsinger, well, I guess it's not Knopfsinger, it's Brandon Broadfoot, who work together. Oh, and we're under caution. Alex Teft. So take everything I said and throw it out the window. The Teft and Knopfsinger battling back here for position. Teft goes down, gets loose on the apron, bounces around. Nowhere for the 2 to go, the 59 or the 77. Everybody gets caught up in it. So, green, white checker. That is not something Teft and Jarrett wanted to see. Yeah, definitely 7-7 has been in a lot of these. So Teft and Jarrett are going to be starting inside and outside. Poffenberger and Fowler, same as well. Then it also brought in Robert Knopfsinger as well, and it looks like Andrew Teft elects to hit pit lane. I guess we'll find out if tires were that important, as Brandon Broadfoot takes the lucky dog. Well, Andrew Teft might be making the right call here, because he'll come out of the pits in 4th position anyway. So he lost a couple positions. He'll still be able to be within, well, he'll still be in the 2nd row. But he should be able to work his way back up front, because all the lap cars should start behind the leaders here. So pace lights should go out on the pace car this time and should get them all stacked back up where they need to be. Lights are out on the pace car.
We got 7 cars on the lead lap right now. Garrett, Poffenberger, Fowler, Teft, Knopfsinger, Kane, and Broadfoot. Stacked up, making their way down that back stretch. Here they go. Ready to turn them loose once again here. Pace car is in. Jarrett has the button. In the Geico restart zone, and he is down and away. And we are green flag racing here. Jarrett gets a pretty big jump. And it looks like Tef got stuck in the middle with nowhere really to go as Kane's trying to make his way down on the inside. We'll see if Knopfsinger can get up to Teft, but Teft keeps going backwards here. Fowler and Poffenbarger up to that high side. Fowler to the lead. Teft down to the inside. Gonna hook back up with Jarrett here. They had the line that worked pretty well before. We'll see if they can make it work again. Kane jumps down to the inside. That car is gonna slow them down as he has no front bumper. His arrow is crashed right now. So that high line is going to get going as Kane gets pulled out of the way. Final lap, white flag in the air. Fowler up front, Poffenbarger. Brandon Broadfoot forcing it 3 wide once again. Broadfoot involved in that accident, went down a lap, got his lap back this last time by on the lucky dog. We'll see if he's going to have anything left for Christopher Fowler. Poffenbarger down to the inside as well. We got the 13 of Knopfsinger, Jarrett, and Teft. Fowler still leading. We'll see when Poffenbarger is going to pull out, and I don't know that he is, as he is hooked right to his bumper for the win. Fowler, Poffenbarger, Knopfsinger, 1, 2, 3. Matthew Jarrett hang on for 4th. Brandon Broadfoot battled back for 5th. Andrew Teft might be having second thoughts about that late pit stop he had there. Christopher Fowler, race winner of round number 1 here at Daytona International Speedway. Let him take his burnout, and we'll see if we can talk to him momentarily. I am not seeing Fowler or Poffenbarger in the Discord here. Well, let's see. We'll see if we can talk to Robert here. Hey, Robert, Mike up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yep. How copy?
Hey, man. That was a heck of a race. You were up front, battled back towards the end there, and a heck of a finish.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I had the thing on in the background, so it was double playing for me just now.
That's all right, man. But heck of a first race for you guys. How do you think this season's going to play out for you?
I think it's going to play out pretty well. I've never actually done a full season with this league before, and I'm finally able to do that, so I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Definitely. Well, congrats on your third place finish. Anybody you want to thank for it?
I mean, Brendan, he was a great help, great draft partner the entire day. At overall, the pit. Outside of that, I mean, just thank you for the Tefs who hosting the league and giving me the opportunity to race today.
Definitely. Well, I will. I'll let you go, and maybe I'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Hey, Brandon, Mike up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, heck of a race there. You and Christopher Fowler were able to work together, have the correct pit strategy, and bring home first and second. Was that kind of always the plan, to stick together?
Yeah, we talked about it before the race. We were just kind of going to ride in the back and try to make a run at the end with pit strategy, and then that worked out into the caution.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you guys kind of had the right thing going. Jarrett and Teft kind of were able to get around you after Jarrett backed up into Teft there, but you guys were able to overcome that with that last caution and Teft taking the pit. Congrats on your opening race, second place here. How do you think this season's going to go for you guys?
I think it'll be pretty good. Competition seems pretty good, so that's all we're kind of looking for, just something weekly that we can compete top 5, top 10 every week.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad to have you guys on board and look forward to broadcasting you the rest of the season. Anybody you want to thank for your second place finish?
Just Christopher Fowler, just working good with us. You know, he's been a good teammate the last couple of years, racing with me, so.
Definitely. Well, I will let you go celebrate your P2 finish, and maybe I'll talk to you next week.
10-4.
Hey, Christopher, Mike up in the booth. Got a copy?
How you doing, Mike?
No, not too bad. Heck of a race there.
Yeah, it was intense there at the end.
Yeah, I had it down to 4 cars, and all of a sudden that caution came out and kind of basically threw everything I was thinking out the window.
Yeah, we didn't want to see that, me and Brandon there. We had a plan, and it was going pretty good, and then that caution came out. I'm like, oh no, what are we gonna do here? So.
Well, it looks like you guys made the right pit strategy call, pitted just a little bit before everybody else, so you guys could keep that momentum going and get up front.
Question though.
And then
I have a question for you. Sorry. How many tires did everybody take? Because we took none at the end there, and I feel like we didn't really gain any ground.
I don't know. That's what I was kind of looking at, looking back through, you know. I was trying to figure out why Andrew elected to hit pit lane there, because he literally, the only thing you were probably going for was tires, and it didn't seem to matter as he gave up that track position and finished back in 6th position. You guys stayed out and were able to stay up front, so.
Oh yeah, Brandon knocked the back bumper of that thing off.
Yeah, you guys definitely had a plan, and put it to fruition here. Anybody you want to thank for your win?
First off, Brandon. I mean, he pushed me to the win basically. I mean, without him, I couldn't have done it. At Plate Tricks, you're kind of teamed up. You don't have a choice. So, and then my wife, she allows me to do this. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I will let you go celebrate your win here, and maybe we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. Anytime.
Yep.
All right. So that was your top three. Christopher Fowler with the win. Brendan Poffenbarger pushing him to that win. Robert Knopflinger finishing in third. Go ahead and take a look real quick here at the race results from round one at Daytona. Christopher Fowler, Brendan Poffenbarger in second. Robert Knopflinger in third. Matthew Jarrett finishes fourth. Brendan Broadfoot battles back to finish top five. Andrew Teff took tires that last pit stop and did not go the way he wanted. Finishes in sixth. Dennis Kane in seventh. Timothy Hoke back in eighth. Alex Teff, Garrett Larder, Spencer Hanneman, Will Smith, Perry Fennell, and Dave Thorpe round out the field. Well, that was heck of an opening act. And we will see what happens next week when we head to Vegas. Once again, this is the Racers Elite Xfinity Series here on iRacing. They do have a couple other leagues that they run with heat and such as well. You can see these guys every week here on Sim Racing Media every Wednesday from everybody at the Racers Elite Xfinity Series, all of us at Sim Racing Media. I am Mike Damone wishing you all a good night, and I will see you next week.